Hey everybody, how's it going out there? Welcome back to my stream. Got a little bit of excitement going outside with the sirens. They just really want you to know that they have sirens. Usually, Joannis in the chat says hi. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you again. So yesterday we were working on Swish, which is a Swift script runner. Since script running isn't really supported natively in Swift just yet, hopefully this will not be needed in 5 years or something like that. But for now, it's been really working well for me for pushing my own apps to the App Store, for doing other scripts in other scripts that I need for my Subway app. Joannis asked script running in Swift scripts. Yeah, so I guess I can show you. Yes, we've also been working on FQauth. So we have the sample iOS app. So if I say Swish, it tells me the two targets I have. And I guess you can see kind of what it's doing. It's asking for the dump package, which is the JSON version of the package.swift, and we decode it as this type. And so, we can run that type. We can say swish generate, and that detects all the executable targets. And then, for some reason I needed Neo for this, so that takes a while to build. But then this script is not that interesting. It's running Xcode, which I guess you could do without a script. But some of my apps need a little bit more setup other than just running Xcode to create the Xcode project. So I guess the basic structure there is we can open this up in Nova and show you around a little bit. So it's just, kind of inspired by the package.json that JavaScript apps have. Build a script, package scripts along with it. So you have like your main app, but you don't want to package up your development scripts. So we have this folder, which is what it looks for, a Swish folder. And in there's another package.swift. And the .env needs Neo for some reason. But anyway, you can see that there's two executable targets, which is what gets found by Swish. And then there's the two targets. So run test is just, you could put this in a shell script, right? You could, or we can have Swift types and Swift control flow. So yeah, in addition to running the Xcode, it's also, I guess, loading a config. I forgot about this. Is loading a config from the .env to get the development team and the bundle ID, for example. Jonas asked, what about SPM plugins? That hasn't quite worked for me yet for doing this, but you can brew install this, especially since not everything that I use Swish for is necessarily a SPM package. Let's see, full queue developer, Swish. So you can install it with Homebrew or Mint, or you can just build it yourself. And so yesterday we were working on the default templates that Swish gives you when you run swish-i. Currently it gives you just parsing a date from the command line, which is okay. But since I've been using this for pushing to the App Store, and I keep making more apps, I really want to have a scaffolding to help me get this up and running faster and faster. So yesterday we were in we made a Swish directory inside of Swish, so it's somewhat recursive in the sense that we're generating templates now, detecting templates from a folder, and then generating code from that. And so we got pretty far with that. If we hop back over to, no, we don't want this open. We want to look at sh/swish. Joanna's asked, I might have missed it, but did you try SPM plugins? I have. I haven't gotten them to work quite the way I would want to. And the blogs I've read about it looks like they haven't solved yet the problems that I've faced. But I'm definitely open to that in the future. I don't want Swish to be a long-term thing, but it's the best that I have for now. I don't remember off the top of my head, to be honest. Joannis is asking what problems I've run into with SPM plugins. You can see we have a templates directory with one template in it, and we generated this code, a templates enum with the Apple multi-platform, that's the name of it, and then a companion file with the contents of all the files so that we can scaffold using, say, this instead of what's there currently, which is that little date parser that I mentioned. Also, before we dive back into working, we made our YouTube follow goal last week. Thank you so much. We celebrated with a tie stream, and we're 17 away from another one. For when we get to 200 follows on Twitch, I'll also do a tie stream again. This is a little bit of a shorter stream today. Usually go to 5. Took says hello, hello. Hey, good to see you too. And I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to say. Oh yeah, the very first beta version of FQauth is tagged. I haven't deployed it yet on my own servers, but I will be doing it soon, and any more updates will be coming soon. We implemented all the things I wanted to for a beta, so I'm going to start using it in an app. Stay tuned. But for now, we're sort of putting that on the back burner for just a little bit, and we're doing some templating. So this template for an Apple multi-platform App Store script, it's not really fleshed out yet. We just echo hello for now. We're sort of getting the infrastructure, I guess, for lack of a better word, up and going. So our first task is going to parse the scaffold name from the command line args. So right now, if we just say swish -- help, we have a -i in it. We'll scaffold a new Swish project in the subdirectory of the current directory. And I would like this, I think, to take an argument with the template name. And maybe allow a default one. And I guess I can show the full help there. Yeah, so let's head over to, let's close this Xcode, because Xcode does not like it when you have multiple Swift projects that depend on each other open. One of the things I missed from CocoaPods. Okay, so here's the current init command. It currently does not do anything about parsing an argument at all. It just scaffolds what we have here. So I guess we could make this a template, or we could delete it and come back to it. But either way, I think the first step is to look at the command line parsing. Looks like what I do for the add command is I have an argument. I take some arguments that are an array, and we kind of do something with the argument names. Joanna says, this is way overkill, but for Swift CodeGen, check out Swift syntax. Joannis has been playing with Swift syntax, and it's awesome. Oh, right on. Yeah, I'm not doing all that much interesting stuff for my code generation right now. It's just some strings. No templating yet. Joanna says it's an official Apple project for parsing and for parsing Gen and Swift code. Okay, now that is interesting, because I guess I showed you before that Swish works by asking Swift to dump the JSON representation of a JSON package. Okay, that is interesting. A little bit out of scope for today. I'm trying to do select which template to generate. Let's see. So yeah, I'm going to kind of be inspired by my own exec command here. And I'll go back to the init. Joanna says, I'm making a tool around it, but I want to make a library from it if I have the time. Oh, right on. Yeah, so I guess now this has it's only its own errors enum. Or I guess we can just fatal error for now, just to get some code up and running. And perhaps it shouldn't be the template name. Perhaps this should just be the template ID, really. And because we can parse this from, so we can guardlet template, because these are named by enum names. They're string raw values, so we can just init from raw value. And this will be, I guess, argument 0. We'll fatal error again for now, just to make the compiler happy. And we'll pass in the template. And then what did we do before? We did, I guess we sort of announced what we were doing. And then we went through and created all the files. So here we can say template.files. And I guess this should take a template name too, I guess. And then this can delete. We can head over to the announcer to add that in. And I guess we can use the raw value as the name. And maybe we'll color it cyan. Okay, so we have extra argument template. Well, I just added it in, so we'll just follow where the compiler takes us, and it's asking us to pass along the arguments. And so let's go ahead and pass those along. And do I have to drop any arguments? What did I do with the add? Yes, I did need to drop first. Okay, so I think this is the code that I want. How am I gonna test this out? How am I gonna run it? I guess I could build it locally as in the release form and then run that executable and make sure I don't run the one I have installed from Homebrew. So we'll say swift build -c release. And then let's show the bin path for that. So now if I say swish-i without any arguments, I should get a fatal error. Yes. So if I say Apple, ooh, this is going to overwrite stuff. I need to do this in another directory. That's a great idea. So make a dir called temp, I guess. We'll say Apple multi-platform. So we're scaffolding template Apple multi-platform in folder Swish. Created some files. And I guess if we open this up in Nova, this is not exactly what I was expecting. PWD. Yeah, so Nova dot. Okay. Yeah, so it's all here. And so if I run the Swish executable, I was expected to... Oh, did I not have a package.swift in there? No, it is here. Oh, okay. It's a little wrong. These three directories shouldn't be here. It should look more like this. Okay. So that's an error. So how are we gonna fix this? Well, let's look at what got generated. Yeah, all this stuff is in here. This shouldn't have the name of the template or the templates directory in the directory name. So I guess that goes back to let's see, let's go ahead and delete this. I guess that goes back to detecting the current templates, which is in a different Xcode project. Swish. Yes, it's in here in the Swish project for Swish, which has its own little scripts. So here we detect the templates. Let's get a little bit more a little bit more space. Yeah, so the directory is a little off. Where are we detecting the directory from? Here. So it's just the file path removing last component. I guess we also need it relative to somewhere, right? Guess we could have like a root path and then like drop this from the beginning of this file path string, of this directory string, That's one way. It'd be nice to do this as file paths. Is there a way to talk about relative paths here with file path, the built-in type? So there's a root. Create a file path from the root and any number of components. Appending, lexically resolving, create a new file path by resolving a subpath relative to self. And that's not quite it. Removing root, create a new file path containing just the components, i.e. everything after root. So how does it know what root is? Return self if root is nil. Oh, so this is more about the actual root, actual slash. Oh, remove prefix. There we go. This is mutating though. Is there a remove in prefix? There is not. They have an ing for push ing and append ing, but I guess not for remove in prefix. Okay, so let's try that out. So I'll get the name first. That's fine. This will make this a var directory, and then say dot remove directory dot remove prefix of this. I guess we'll convert this to a file path. Oh, thanks. I forgot I had that out there. Actually, I was only creating that in order to remove it here. But yeah, I should be using that. That's a good point. Thank you, that was helpful. So then this path is going to be root path dot append in yeah, let's call this file path because that's this now. And then let's try to open it. So I guess this will be file path.string. Since I don't think file path has a way to read it indirectly. Okay, build succeeded. So we should probably change the name of this script since it's just generating the templates or generating the code for the templates. It still needs a better name, I suppose. Let's close Xcode and then let's open this Innova and see what we got. Yeah, so we got package.swift in the root. That's correct. Git ignore is now in the root of the Swish folder. Yeah, so the directories are correct now. Nice. So yeah, let's do what we did before. Let's build it for release. Yeah, I'm up arrowing, trying to find it, but it's easy enough to type it in again. And then you can go ahead and get the binary path. And then let's, I don't know, go to some temporary directory, I guess. I guess the desktop, why not? Yeah, so that still feels correctly. Let's call it Apple multi-platform. Cool, so it created those things. We can, oh, wait a minute. This is still too many deep. This is too many deep. Okay. Yeah, so I guess who should own where it goes? Because I guess when we're in, let's see, in the init command, I think these are, yeah, these are relative to the swishter. This should just be dot, I think. Oh, this might need to be quoted. Okay, let's try this one more time. And we cleared the desktop, right? Now let's remove that. Oh, that's the wrong one. This one slash swish dash I Apple multi-platform. I should have just named this App Store or something. This is so long. Cool. So let's look at our desktop. Cool. So that looks how I would expect, and we can run it. We can say, and this of course will not do anything interesting, but I'll show that it's running. Cool. So you can see it. It echoes hello. And this is a print from Swift. Cool. So we have our templating, I guess, working. We should take care of these fatal errors, though. And I guess we can, delete this one, the default one. Or should we move it into something? I'm not sure yet, so I'm not going to touch it for now. Let's do these errors. And the errors, are they public? Not necessarily. Those other tabs. So I guess the first one is when the name of the template isn't passed in. And then the other one is when we don't have a template with the name that they did provide. So we can go ahead and throw these. And this one will be here. And then I guess we can run the build just to make sure we're still compiling. And then I guess we want to make sure that we have good error messages. So let's see. Let's remove the old one. So we'll run swish-i. Yeah, so we need to convert this to maybe make the font a little bit bigger. You need to convert this to a more readable string. And where does that go? That would be in here. We have localized errors. So add a new folder for the init command errors. And in here, we can conform it to a localizable error. And what we need for that is the error description is the main thing we need to provide. And we'll just switch ourselves. And I guess I can copy paste the names over. Let's see, so what's the error here? So here is, I guess, argument expected at the first specified name of the script to add as the first argument. Let's copy paste here the name of the template to scaffold. And then we'll say no template. This will be return no template found with name. Oh, and I guess this should be a let. And I guess we can say the name of the templates here. Let's see. So this would be templates.allcases.map $0 value. And we can join them with commas. And then add a period at the end, I guess. Maybe color them cyan. Let's go ahead and rebuild. Oh, we got an error. Error is not a member of class. Oh, I meant to say errors. There we go. Oh, this needed a dot, and error needs to conform to case iterable. Or not error, template, which I guess is because we generate it, it needs to go into the generation part. So we'll add case iterable. So we'll generate all the code, and then we will build for release. And then let's try it again. Let's see our gorgeous error messages. Specify name of the template scaffold as the first argument. I guess this should also have the current names of the templates too, huh? Then we can, the template found with name, current templates are, cool. Yeah, so we'll just add this line to the first argument, and I think that's looking great. And perhaps we want to make that a little bit readable. We can say have like a current templates message, I guess. Maybe something like that. And then we can use this in both places. And let's go ahead and rebuild. And let's regard our error message. Yeah, I guess that's fine for now. Maybe if we get to have too many, we'll want to like reformat how this looks. But that's looking pretty good for now. So what do? We parse the command, parse the scaffold name. And we also did error handling and printed error messages, I guess. Oh, I see. I forgot to say -m. Go ahead and push that on upstairs. Cool. And yeah, so that was nice. And before we get too much further, I do want to rename this swish build command because it's not really building, is it? It's generating the templates, it's detecting templates and generating the code for them. It's we can just call it code generation, I guess. So we can name that in the package.swift. And we can see if that still works. And that's kind of a long name, isn't it? Generate code, generate templates code, generate. None of these names are particularly grabbing me. And I don't want anything too long to type, but also expressive for what it's doing. It gets us doing something slightly nuanced. It's not. I guess all code generation might go in here, not just the template code. Generate code. Generate is just a little too generic. Generate code, generate. I think that's the best I can come with for right now. Okay, let's just go ahead and commit that, and then we'll actually write some App Store scripting. I can't use backticks in here. Let's use single ticks. Oh, I need another double quote. Okay, so let's do some App Store scripting. Yeah, maybe Apple multi-platform is too ambitious of a name for the first one. Maybe let's just call it App Store iOS for now. And let's close the other tabs. And let's copy from, because I have this script already and I want to reuse it. And that's the point of setting up these scaffolds. Let's copy paste it out of Haptic Studio. Where would that be? Yeah, so it's not that long, but it is involved. So let's copy it over and then modify it. So I guess I was using the terminal to reset the logs and the artifacts. I can probably just do that with File Manager. We'll leave that here for a moment. And I guess this doesn't need to be async. And the indentation is all off. Let's see, we don't need this. I guess this is a little bit older version of this, huh? Do I have something newer I can inspire myself from? Because I guess, let's see, what am I thinking? I guess I kind of want to put this all into a separate file so that main is like kind of focused around just setting up a few things. And then you say like, go to the App Store and then use AL tool to upload it. Yeah, I'm not sure how I want to, if I want to, which scaffold I want to do, like, because you can use a username and password to upload to the App Store. You can use an API key, and probably other ways too. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing templating in the first place anyway, because trying to make this into a library, reusable library, just seemed like the wrong thing to do. Like, give people something to start with, and then they can take it from there. Perhaps these should be file paths. I'll keep it strings for now. Give this a func, like, I don't know, build and upload. Maybe, I think we need the scheme name as like the minimum. And I guess we can also specify a workspace and a project. But those are optional. Those can be nil. And this is going to be so many of them. And this will definitely be throws. We'll just type that in while we're up here. Yeah, and I think the idea is, like, we'll reset the paths, and then we'll say, like, App Store with, you know, a log root to put where to put the logs. And the artifact root where to put, like, the derived data, the IPA, stuff like that. what did I call it? Build and push, build and upload to the App Store. Scheme name. I mean, this is what people need to edit sort of at a minimum, is like what scheme they want to be uploading, and then all this can go inside here. Why is the indentation so weird? Let's bring it back. Bring it back west. And I guess the benefit of doing this approach of having it like just here as a directory is I can just CD in there and build it and see that it builds or not, without having to like compile the whole thing and generate a project and run that. And I guess we're going to be in here, so I'll increase the font in this window. Yeah, so we got a few things going on in there. So let's come on back. And this will probably need foundation for file manager. Not sure what we're going to do about secrets as far as like a template for people to use goes. The .env thing that I wanted to use requires Swift Neo, which feels like overkill for this. Just running some commands. Let's see. And I also I do like having I do think this AL tools support that I wrote was very successful, but the Xcode build support I'm not exactly 100% happy with. Just because there's so many options in here, it's like impossible to support everything. So I'm going to use what I did underneath it. And I think I have that on my GitHub in another project. GitHub.com, my username, not FQauth. Do I have a Sunlight app here? I do. And let's look at the App Store script here. Yeah, I guess this is kind of what I want to copy paste. So this uses multiple platforms and stuff, because this is for iOS and macOS, this app. And I think, yeah, for the first template, just be iOS. I think that's fantastic. Yeah, a lot of this is like managing where these paths, and it makes the code kind of unreadable in a way. And Nova keeps messing with my indenting. What if I do, nope. So this is just iOS, so we don't need the platform. These are all these path names. I wish the editor would stop doing this. Okay, so I'll keep export options, but Xcode build, let's copy that over from my GitHub. Yeah, here we go. Let's close Haptics app. We're not using that right now. Okay, yes, we are in the right folder again. Yeah, so I guess this is the command to archive in Xcode. Let's get that build destination out for, we're doing iOS to start only. And I guess I'm asking for a workspace and a scheme. Yeah, this is tough on, I guess I'm not sure what API I would want to provide to people here. I feel like I have made mistakes on making it too abstract, and I've also made mistakes on making it not abstract enough also. I mean, I know I want this, and I guess what I've found works best for me is editing these commands directly, because Xcode build just has so many options that trying to make stuff generic like this just kind of gets in the way. However, I do use things like the scheme as a variable like all the time. Yeah, and I guess as far as like detecting secrets, an environment file has been really nice if you're not using like a username and password. Otherwise, using something like 1Password to grab, or LastPass or something like that, or even Apple's security framework to grab your username and password out of your keychain is a good idea. Okay, so I see there's no SDK here, but I think it gets covered by the destination, because I know that works. And then we have to export archive. I mean, I guess I'm familiar with what my competition here is. There's Fastlane. There's the GUI, but I mean, if you're looking at anything else, you're already kind of tired of the Xcode GUI. So we'll log the files to here, and then the command will be, I'll copy this off of my GitHub, and it is right here. export path for platform. I guess that was a little helper I made here when I was doing multi-platform, but it's just, oh, just artifact root. Okay. Okay, so that takes care of this line. And then, yeah, I guess we could split this up into like a build function and an upload function. Because I guess at least when I'm testing this, I'm not going to be uploading this to the App Store. I mean, as an open source project on GitHub, I'm not going to be uploading to the App Store. I'm not going to be having any secrets there. Well, no interesting ones anyway. Yeah, I'm so torn right here. Maybe we could pass in like a flag to skip the upload, so we don't have to have two. Well, let's say what the log root will be. This will be, I guess, like a temp/logs, I guess, and artifact route can be, I deleted the wrong half, artifacts in the temp folder. Well, we could see if we're building at least. I misspelled file manager. Bruce Leaf, how's it going? Good to see you. Oh, it's supposed to be at path. Bruce Leaf says, it's going well. How are you doing? How are you doing? Well, hope you're doing well. Thanks. Yeah, a little bit of a busy day this afternoon, so it's a little bit shorter stream than I was hoping, but we're still making some good progress. Yeah, I was thinking like I made that Swish App Store library, but Xcode just has so many options that it's kind of impossible to encapsulate it all into a reusable library. I feel like my current goal is to have Swish scaffold templates for you. That will just have the Xcode command in there, and you can edit that to your liking, you as the person using the template. Bruce Lee says, yeah, good point. Way too many options. Yeah, I don't know how tools like Fastlane do it. I doubt that they are actually supporting every single thing. And even if they are, or even if I do, like Apple keeps adding new stuff. It's it's a big task to just keep some code up to date. But being able to like rerun this using Swish has been like so helpful for me. What I'm trying to think about now is how to detect secrets. I think I will add like I'll scaffold a secrets struct for people, and then they can get it using the environment variables, or I think a .env file has felt the best. However, the .env script I'm using requires Swift Neo, which that feels like overkill. So I might fork this, and I think it's like called Swift projects, or yeah, this one, Swift packages.env. This depends on Swift Neo, which is, I don't want people to have to be compiling Swift Neo just to push to the App Store. That feels a little silly. So yeah, I might I might fork this to remove that dependency. Took says you're doing so much for the Swift community. Flex, high five. Thank you. You are too, I'm sure. And I guess even AL tool, I can make this be the command as well. And the export options, like this can be just this struct we could bring in as a scaffold as well. I guess one wrinkle about that is if I have like 15 different scaffolds for like upload your iOS app to the App Store, upload your iOS/Mac app to the App Store, upload your iOS/Mac/Watch app to the App Store. If these are all separate templates, keeping them all up to date, that might be a bit of a drag. I might want to find some way to share code between templates, like especially this export options struct. Anyhow, let's look at what AL tool is. Let's stick with that current line of thought and see how far it takes us. So this is shxcu run is where it's currently defined. I want to yoink it out. Yeah, because I want to make like reusable symctl tools as well. So I feel like at some point there will be some shared code. I think I've overshared code, and I'm still kind of searching for just the right. I mean, I think about a lot of like butchering a cow, like the different steaks. I feel like getting the right library or framework is getting just the right separation of opinion versus abstractness versus options for the user. Bruce Lee says, can you just use process info environment to get environment variables? Yes. I have found in my own usage that, I guess people could. Yeah, I think for the scaffold, that's probably the best thing to provide for people, huh? Because there's no additional dependencies. They can just edit their zshrc or their bashrc or whatever they're using to have their environment variables, because their API key is probably not going to change. Their development team is probably not going to change. And if it does change, they can work around it. Yeah, I guess I'm still confused on if I'm providing a library or a framework or what. 'Cause right now, I guess this angle is providing a pile of code. Let's see, the file that we're uploading is app.ipa, I guess. But see, like once you do this, it's like, how are people going to know that the name of the like what to put here? This is like so far away. I mean, I think this is named after the scheme. Let me check my code. Upload. Yeah, scheme, and then it's either the IPA or the PKG, depending on if you're built it for Mac or iOS. There's just so many combinations of stuff. It's like maybe having like Swish to scaffolding is like totally the wrong thing. Maybe it should only be like part of a larger template repository that has everything lined up, kind of Ruby on Rails style. But I know this is something that I want. I just like I keep copy pasting my own scripts over and over again from my previous projects. Polish's apps for iOS or no Mac. Yeah, I'm doing just iOS for the first one, which means kind of undoing some stuff I did for that Sunlight app that I was working on. Yeah, so it's just going to be IPA. I'll have the scheme passed in somewhere. I guess we're taking it as an argument here. Export path, upload, then the credential.serialized. Yeah, this is actually like nice reusable code, the AL tool. Like I think I want to keep that, because what the serialized thing does is let me show you. So I have these credentials, and then say if it's the API key, like serialized, it'll put these things, it'll put like environment variable things here so that when SH goes to run it, it'll do like the environment substitution here, so that you don't leak this stuff to the terminal. Especially for like the literal password one. Like having the username here is fine, but I think like showing people how to do this, doing this for them, is going to help them not leak their password into a log file. So I am really proud of that. So, and I do like having SimCTL here, but yeah, Xcode build, like having an actual like this just feels bad. That stuff just keeps changing so fast. Yeah, so let's go ahead and keep all that. This is scheme.ipa. And then I guess for the credential, I guess this could get passed in too. AL tool dot. I guess if it's null, we just won't upload. Yeah, I guess that'll be nicer than having a flag for like upload or not. Just like don't pass the credential along. No credential for AL provided. Skipping upload. And I guess this can be yellow. And how are we doing on the build? No such module, rainbows. Is it rainbow? Let's see. Oh, it is rainbow. Okay. Credential is not a member of type AL tool. It's not? Sources. Oh, it's just prefix. It's not namespaced. Okay. Okay, yeah, we have a couple of build errors, but these will be fine to fix. Not find artifact root and scope. But it's right here. Oh, I called it artifact path. At path instead of at. Oh, and this should be scheme. Yeah, I guess my plan is to have something on, oh, we're not doing platform. In GitHub Actions to just like run the build without uploading to show that it's working. You can like download the artifact, I guess. But will I need signing for that? I might need signing, which I don't know about doing that in an open source project. I might need some help thinking through that. Yeah, so this is not here yet either. So we'll have to get to that next time. Yeah, I do have to end a little bit early today. I have a busy afternoon, but I will be back tomorrow. Let's see. Here is my schedule. I'll be back tomorrow with more narrated coding. And then Friday we'll do freestyle exploration. FQoff 0.1.1 is out. I'll be hopefully using that in one of my projects soon to wrestle out any kinks there might be. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.